Well, folks, a bittersweet one in Dallas. Canucks on the last game of a road trip in Dallas, against a team that is really good, top of the Central Division coming in. Or maybe they were second behind Winnipeg because they won earlier, I think. But either way, like a tough team to play against. They went in, they kind of got outplayed. And by kind of, I mean they did get outplayed. Dallas looked fantastic tonight. What did the Canucks do? They got a point. And what does that do with Vegas losing to Tampa Bay earlier today? That puts them in first in the Western Conference by points because they own the tiebreaker against Vegas. And if you're saying LA has 5 games in hand, so you got to bring the points percentage out, folks, that works in our favor too. So the Vancouver Canucks, with 1 game to go before Christmas, if they beat San Jose on Saturday, this team will be atop the Western Conference at the Christmas break. That is unbelievable, right? And sure, yeah, it sucks. They lost, whatever. But man, I'm looking at this and I don't care that much. Oh, you lost in the last game of a road trip in Dallas, and you got a point out of it. Look at the standings. Who saw this coming 34 games into the NHL season, right? We're almost halfway there. We're over a third of the way through the season. This is fantastic. So we'll break down this game as I tend to do. Also, by the way, let's look at the old money puck deserve to win-o-meter. 79% of the time, 80% of the time, Dallas wins this game based on the scoring chances. I mean, look at this map. Look at the expected goals in all situations. It's dominant in favor of the Dallas Stars, but that doesn't really matter because the Canucks get a point on the score sheet. Their PDO, it keeps rising somehow. It's unsustainable, but we're still sustaining it. The best PDO team in NHL history. So let's go through this game fairly quick, and then we can look forward to Saturday's game back at home against San Jose. Canucks open this one up 3 minutes in, and what line is it but the third line? It is the Joshua, Blueger, Garland line. They've just been so good. Stars rush into the Canucks zone. Everything was sort of end to end at the beginning of this game. Stars rush into the Canucks zone, resulting it gets broken up, resulting in a 2-on-1 the other way. It's Joshua and Garland. Garland sneaks it under the defender to Dakota Joshua. Joshua's red hot, beats Wedgwood, makes it 1-0 Vancouver. The Stars did get one back with about 9 minutes to play. We had some 4-on-4 hockey after the Canucks drew a penalty. I think it was Joshua who drew the penalty to even it up to 4-on-4 because the Canucks were on the kill. But Dallas has some pretty good players, and it's Tyler Seguin driving the net. Pass comes through, and he just chips it over Demko, kind of similar to Bluger's goal a handful of days ago. So it's 1-1. And honestly, the first period, shots were 16-6 in favor of Dallas. Natural Stat Trick has expected goals 1.5 to 0.6 in favor of Dallas. High danger chances 6-3 in favor of Dallas. Shots, or Corsi, which is shot attempts, 28-12 in favor of Dallas. 1-1. That's the part that matters because Thatcher Demko was fantastic and the Canucks did get one. So on to the second period. The Stars do get their first lead of the game about 8 minutes in. It's a really nice play from Jason Robertson behind the net. He gets the puck to Rupe Hintz, who just drives through a cluster of 4 Canucks. Someone needs to break him up. Someone needs to lay the body, do something. But he slides it past Demko to make it 2-1. But 4.5 minutes later, Brock Besser December continues. He comes off the bench as JT Miller does a little half circle in the offensive zone. Miller finds him, and then Brock's skating downhill, and he just rips this thing. Absolutely unreal shot from Brock Besser. His 24th of the year, 2 behind Austin Matthews, who lost 9-3 tonight, so that's fine. To make it 2-2. And then again, let's look at the second period, right? Canucks have been historically a good second period team. Not really tonight, though. Shots in the second period, 9-5. High danger chances, 5-0 in favor of Dallas. Expected goals, 0.99 to 0.44. That's over double. But again, the goals, 1-1, because this Canucks team somehow does not lose second periods. On to the third. This is a really action-packed third. The Canucks finally break through with 5 minutes left. Canucks get lucky on this one. The officials missed a very clear too many men against the Canucks. 30 seconds later, Teddy Bluger gains the line, sauces it cross ice to Dakota Joshua, and he fires it at Connor Garland, who goes on one knee and just slides into the net and directs it in with him. Fantastic. Like, this line has been so unreal the past couple of weeks. And they've been driving this team, right? This winning streak, or not really winning streak that the Canucks have been on. But they've gotten points out of what? All of their last 8 games, I want to say. I think they had 11 points in their last 6 games as of Monday's Canucks After Dark. So 13 points in 7, 14 points out of the last 8 games, I think is correct. That's phenomenal, right? And this line has been the absolute driving force behind that. Unfortunately, as the Canucks have tended to do on a couple of occasions, and I think back to that New Jersey Devils game, right? They finally break through, and they tied it in the Devils game. This one, they finally break through, and they take the lead, and they just sort of lose focus, and they get beat. A minute and a half later, Canucks couldn't clear. They win the faceoff. Ian Cole tries to fire it around the wall, and Dakota Joshua wasn't there yet. So the line gets held. Jason Robertson finds Harley as he walks in, and he gets it under Demko. And I think this one went off the stick of Ian Cole too, to add insult to injury on Ian Cole. So that ties the game at 3. Daniel Wagner put a screenshot on Twitter I think maybe he tweeted out that, Miller had blown the zone. That maybe was the stanchion or Wyatt Arndt who put the screenshot on Twitter. But either way, JT Miller's at center ice essentially when this puck gets turned over, right? It is a 1-goal game, and he is thinking, gun, go score. We're going to make it 2 instead of defending the 1-goal lead, which sucks. Canucks get really lucky to even get a point of this one because Dadonov, with about 2.5 minutes to go, gets a really sweet pass from Jamie Benn on the zone entry, and he just drives the net, drives past Demko, and he has a wide open net, but it slides off of his stick, and the Canucks dodge one, so they're very lucky to get to overtime. And I tweet out at the start of overtime, I say, please let this overtime be better than the game against Minnesota. That's all I want. I just want a good overtime. I want some chances. I want some action. It's 3-on-3. There's so much ice out there. Let's have some fun. Or Dallas can skate around with the puck for 3 minutes because the Canucks couldn't win a faceoff. Dallas got the puck first. They skate around for a minute. Canucks can't change. Demko makes a save, directs it out of play. So the Canucks can change. Then Dallas wins the next faceoff. And that again occurs for another minute. Same thing. 3:11 to go in overtime. Another faceoff. Dallas wins it again. The Canucks finally get possession for the first time in this overtime with 1 shot on goal from Dallas with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. So essentially 2.5 minutes of nothing. Then what do the Canucks do? They sit behind the net for 35 seconds. The boos of the Dallas fans. So the Canucks sit behind their own net for 35 seconds, and then they finally go in on a rush and hold the puck for a little bit, and then Elias Pettersson loses possession behind the net in a possession-based game. He lost the puck. And then, as Dallas is coming in, Dakota Joshua makes a really nice pinch to break a play up, and he goes in 2-on-0 with Elias Pettersson. Pettersson passes to Joshua. Joshua, instead of shooting, even though Joshua's really hot right now, gives it back to Pettersson, which, if you're Dakota Joshua, you're thinking, oh, I'm with Elias Pettersson. He's the guy who should be shooting this puck here. And Elias Pettersson just gets in too tight. He had the whole top half of the net. The goaltender or Wedgwood, I think his name was. I keep forgetting. He was covering the bottom half because he thought he might have to push back to Joshua. And Pettersson just kind of slid it into his pad instead of getting that upstairs. And then with 9 seconds to go, Matt Duchene goes in and scores on a breakaway to end the game. And that's it. Canucks get a point, though. And like I said, top of the West. I have a lot of pluses, honestly, from this game. And let me start by saying, let's start with the minuses. The Canucks got absolutely outplayed in this game, right? They just did. Third period, by the way, though, was a lot more even. 0.49 expected goals to 0.38. So much more close. High danger chances 3-1. And the thing that sucks to see in this game is the Canucks had 4 high danger chances. They were in a natural stat trick, which is not ideal. But the shots in the third were 9-8 in favor of Dallas. So a lot more even. And the Canucks, honestly, that was a fun third period of hockey. That's a big plus on my side. But did the Canucks get absolutely played? Sure. Did they deserve to get a point? Probably not. But they did. And Thatcher Demko was a big part of that. And I'm in a weirdly good mood for the Canucks having lost this game. Like, I genuinely feel like, I didn't think that the Canucks looked bad. I just thought that Dallas looked good. And I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if there's like a way to really determine what was better about it. But Dallas just was a little bit quicker. They had better possession. Their rushes looked more dangerous. Everything they did was just a little bit more dangerous. And I don't know if that's really an indictment on the Canucks. It just looks like Dallas was a damn good hockey team tonight. And the Canucks are resilient enough to squeeze out a point. And that's why I have a weirdly positive attitude after that loss. Other minuses for this one, Elias Pettersson just was fighting the puck all night. And then even that 2-on-0, like you got to finish there or at least have a better opportunity. Just didn't look like he had a great reverse hit. I want to give him credit for that in the third period. Fantastic reverse hit. But it just looked like he's fighting the puck. And then Ian Cole. I don't think had a great game tonight. He took that bad penalty in I think it was the first period for interference where he just hit Jamie Benn when Jamie Benn didn't have the puck. Don't know why, but he did. And then that failed clear. That results in Dallas's third goal. He got rid of it too quickly and it wasn't hard enough. Like it's either you play it up softer so your winger can get there in time, or you fire it around the glass so it gets out of the damn zone. He didn't either. He picked the middle option, which is play it medium up the wall for your guy who's not yet there. And Dallas is able to get the puck and capitalize. Other than that, though, my pluses, I mean, first off, that was a fun hockey game. Like, it was genuinely a fun game to watch. Like, the third period was stressful. It was tight. It was back and forth. Maybe the first two periods weren't as exciting because Dallas sort of dominated, but the third period was very, very fun. And I enjoyed that. That was just good, sitting back, eating dinner, watching a good hockey game, especially because how early it was, 5 p.m. start, like third period hits right at dinner time. Fantastic. Thatcher Demko, fantastic game on his part. What were the final numbers from him? He stopped 32 of 36, which looks not great. But I really want to just look at regulation. That overtime goal, I mean, it's a breakaway in OT, right? If he had, let's say the Canucks survive overtime, we go to a shootout, and Duchesne scores on that play. We don't call it against him. I know I'm kind of making things up, but genuinely, Demko, I think, was very good in this game, and kept the team in it for as long as they did. And maybe he should have had that last goal. I don't know. But he was the better goalie tonight. Other pluses in this game, obviously the third line, Bluger, Garland, Joshua, they have been the stars of this team for the last week or two or three. And it's good to see Garland get one, right? All the goals have been going to go to Joshua seemingly, but Garland gets the one that they were hoping would be the game winner and ended up being the one that caused overtime. They've just been so good. Like nothing's happening in their zone. Everything's happening in the offensive zone, which is fantastic out of your checking line. Number 4, Brock Besser with the unreal shot. Like I made a big point. This was like 2 weeks ago on Canucks Effort, like a week and a half ago, last Monday. I think I was saying, for all of like this talk around Brock Besser's shot being the reason that he was dangerous as a rookie and what he came up for, how many goals has Brock scored from just being in the right place at the right time and tapping a puck in or tipping it or just like getting a nice finish or getting a backdoor pass from JT Miller? Like, Brock Besser has played such a cerebral game to get all of the goals that he's gotten. And I was saying like, yeah, like he hasn't even really needed to use his shot. Last couple games, I mean, he's got that shot and that was a fantastic goal that he scored there. That, most players don't score there. Controversial to talk about, especially after a loss, and I really should look at their analytics before I say anything. So I'm going to do that really quick. 5-on-5 expected goals percentage. Okay. They're middle of the pack and better. Like, I was going to give a compliment to Tyler Myers and Nikita Zadorov. They are starting to settle in together. First couple of games were a little bit hectic, but with Nikita Zadorov on the team, they've only lost one game in regulation. And I thought they were decent tonight. They were out for 2 goals against, although Zadorov wasn't out for that one. Either way, they're generally setting in, and I'm starting to enjoy watching them quite a bit. So good on them. Quinn Hughes was good, as he always is. Just looks so dangerous on the line. And then the biggest pluses, like I said, let's run it back. Bring him back up. First place in the West. Let's sort by the whole league. Why don't we? Sorry. What's that at the top of the entire NHL? Sure. Points percentage, they're third. Oh, only third. Still top of the West. And they got more points than anybody. They got more wins than anybody. They're tied with the Rangers. They've got more regulation wins by 3 than anybody. They've got more goals than anybody. They've got a higher goal differential than anybody. They've won as many, if not more, games at home than everybody except Vegas. Vegas is tied with them. This team's good. It's really fun to watch how good this team is. and it's gonna be a fun rest of the year. Saturday night, you can find me on SDPN, Game Over Vancouver, live after that game. So this will be the last time you see me here before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you all for joining me over the course of this year. I know I've been a little bit more sporadic on post games. It's a lot to do 82 games in a year, especially when you're doing a bunch live for SDPN. So make sure you're subscribed over there. Make sure you're subscribed here. Hit the like button, do all that good stuff. And have a good night.